what do I do? What does the Bible say I should do? This gender does something wrong.
Love your wife.
Well, right, yeah. Yes, it's very clear. If someone is nasty to me, as well, the Bible clearly talks about being kind back. We don't return. In situations where life is difficult, we're called to trust God. How God might have to tell us, but many things actually are very clear. And sometimes it's only as we listen to the very clear things does God speak further. Because if you're not willing to forgive, what's quite asking God for anything else? Second, the main thing I want to say is this. Many years ago, I was on holiday in Great Yarmouth on the North Sea coast. I had the privilege of going to a rock shop where they make sticks of rock. And the sticks of rock has got a message right through the middle, usually the town where you are. Like, this was Great Yarmouth. It was a privilege to be there. And sticks of rock start about this big. They use, is it Nougat, I believe they use, and they create the letters, and they're huge to start with. And it goes into a machine, and it's got this circle is thin. And at the end, it's rolled by hand and then chopped into slices. So what starts with big letters is small letters at the end. So what one big lump doesn't look do much, but there's an enormous amount of rock. Fascinating to watch if you ever get the privilege. When it comes to God speaking, or God working for that matter, when it comes to discerning anything that's from God, it's like a stick of rock. And what's the word down in the middle? It's Jesus. I would say as a test of whether God's speaking, there are others, or whether God's working, is whether it glorifies Jesus or not. If it doesn't, it's probably not of God. But in some sense, anything God will say to us is to draw us to Christ, make us like him, minister to others in his love, to glorify him. If it doesn't, it's probably not of God. There's an awful lot of garbage that people claim is from God that is just not. But like that stick of rock, the message that is from God is Jesus. Hebrews chapter 1, right at the beginning, says this. In the past, that's in the Old Testament, God spoke to our ancestors through the prophets in many times, in many ways. But in his last days, he has spoken by his Son, or literally by a Son, that's Jesus. And the whole of Hebrews is about explaining who Jesus was, as God, as man, as high priest, as pioneer. So I'll leave that with just one final thought. You know when Jesus was baptized and the jug came down, God said this to Jesus. A voice from heaven said, "This is my Son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased." In the New Living Version, it says this. "This is my dearly loved Son, who brings me great joy." The message is, "This is my Son, chosen and marked by love, the light of my life." What struck me is thinking about God speaking that. One of the greatest messages that God ever speaks to is that truth. What's true of Jesus is true of me. We're not divine like Jesus. But by faith in Christ, we are his children. So do you believe this morning that God loves you as his son or his daughter, and he takes straight delight in you? Let's just pause in prayer before we have our final song. Father, give us hearts who want to listen to you. I know you're always speaking, we're just so busy talking sometimes we don't listen, or so active we don't listen. Lord, help us to realise the importance of Jesus and that he's up to everything, nothing else is a consequence. Help us to hear his voice, and to follow him, to honour him. Help us to hear that glorious truth too, as much as you love Jesus, you love each one of us too, Lord. Just thank you for being with us. We have our final song now.